Welcome back to the Perfect Season Podcast. This is a Race podcast, talks about everything, all things sports related, and absolutely nothing to do with milk and cookies. My name is Alex. I'm joined today with Antonio and Frankie. Gentlemen, Week 7 predictions. So before we get into picking our games of the week, we have to go over what happened last week. So, in no particular order, we had 2 people finish above 500, 2 finish below 500. The king of Week 6 record predictions, Mr. Anthony.
That's first.
Anthony finished 10-4. Frankie finished 8-6. I finished 6-8. Leon 5-9. So these are the updated predictions at the end of Week 6.
Am I back on the throne in first place?
You have a long way to go from first place. We all do. In first place is Frankie, 58, 37-1. Anthony, 51. Can't read my own handwriting.
So I'm in second place.
You are in second place, and I can't read my own
which is
handwriting.
essentially the first to lose.
Pretty much.
Hey, it's better than last place.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah. Okay, predictions. We have Frankie, that is 58, 37-1. Anthony's 51, 42-1. I'm at 48, 45-1. Leon is 47, 46-1. Okay, so still a long way to go. Obviously, Frankie's kind of king of the mountain, 7-game win in front of second place. So, with that being said, Week 7 predictions. Thursday night football tomorrow night.
Thank God we have a good game.
It's the best game we've had in a couple of weeks. New Orleans Saints at the Arizona Cardinals.
You know, you're getting DeAndre back. Give me the Cardinals.
I'm taking the Saints. The Cardinals, to me, like, they have talent, but they don't have any discipline. They don't have a system. They don't have any culture. The Saints last week, I give the Saints a lot of credit for fighting the way they did against the Bengals team. They were very undermanned, and they had that game in there. They controlled that game for 58 minutes.
No, they did. They did. New Orleans, with nobody on offense, was still able to make that a close game. And with that being said, I'm also going to take New Orleans in that game. Is it an away game? Yes. Are they going to get DeAndre Hopkins back? Yes.
There's still a winning culture in place in New Orleans.
There is, believe it or not.
I mean, they're 2-4, but I will say this: they're incredibly resourceful. Their defense is solid. They came out on Sunday and they said, okay, we don't have our top 3 wide receivers. We're going to get creative with our running game. It's their credit they did.
Yeah, best 2-4 team in the league right now, believe it or not. Okay, the 1 o'clock games on Sunday. We have the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens.
That's a huge game.
It's a big.
Give me Baltimore.
Game.
I'm gonna take the Ravens. I don't love that game, and I don't love my pick either. But Cleveland, like, you lose by 3 to Atlanta. Okay, not good. You have a chance against the Chargers next week. You give away that game, and then you get blown out at home by the Patriots. Like, I'm questioning where the Browns are at psychologically, and they can't afford to lose many more games before Deshaun Watson comes back, or else it's going to be moot.
And you also have to remember they did choke against the Jets as well when they were winning by 13, and they still lost that game.
Yeah, how much does that hurt now? Because I mean, if you win that game, you're 3-3.
Yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore as well. I know Baltimore has had their fair share of games that they've choked so far this season as well. However, I still think that they're in a better shape.
The Browns season might be on the line, and if it's not on the line this week, it will be on the line next week, Monday Night Football against Cincinnati.
Which is a very interesting game to say the least.
Tampa
Bay at the Carolina Panthers.
Tampa gets a bounce back win. Bounce back win.
I think so too. I mean, Carolina's not very good. They don't have any identity. They don't have any. I mean, their best players might be traded. So I gotta take Tampa Bay there.
Carolina.
They have no one out receiver.
DJ Moore.
Besides him,
who's so overrated.
Yeah, I know he is. I'm going to take Tampa Bay as well, just for everybody's mental sake here. If the Carolina Panthers somehow manage a way to beat the Buccaneers, God bless the Buccaneers offensive linemen. We may not hear from them ever again. Last week.
They won't be getting any Christmas presents, that's for sure.
No, they probably won't. Okay, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's an interesting game.
That's an interesting game.
It's a tougher game than I think a lot of us would have thought before the season started.
Especially after this week.
Yes. They've been playing very good. I'm going to take the Bengals just because I trust their roster more. I trust Joe Burrow more. And, I mean, let's be honest.
I'm going with Cincy.
Yeah, you better be going with Cincy. I'll say 34-24. Bengals get the win. They'll get a turnover from Mariota too. By the way, the Bengals in the Super Bowl era, only the fifth team to give up over 200 yards rushing and lose the turnover battle and still win.
You know,
And that turnover was it was a fumble punt. It was a really bizarre turn of events.
I'm looking throughout the games this week.
Well, who'd you pick in Falcons Bengals?
More importantly,
I'm getting there. It's 14 games this week. Obviously, it's 4 teams on bye. I'm looking at the rest of the games, and usually I always try to find one game that I think is going to be on upset alert. To me, it's this game. I'm going to take the Falcons. It's not. I'm not trying to disrespect.
I can't disagree with you.
I'm not here to disrespect Cincinnati. It's not like I'm picking, the Houston Texans to beat the Kansas City Chiefs or anything. But with what I saw last week against the 49ers, yes, the 49ers defense was pretty banged up. However, for some reason, I have this weird feeling Mariota is going to try something. Arthur Smith is going to be able to get this offense under control, and something's going to happen. I'm probably going to be wrong. But I just have this weird feeling. Detroit at Dallas.
Interesting game.
interesting game.
I'm going to take Dallas.
I'm Brian. I'm going upset. Going upset with Detroit.
So Anthony said upset alert Detroit. Dallas's defense is working wonders this year, just like they were kind of last year. I think they're better this year than what they were last year. Detroit's offense was rolling the first 4 weeks. They got halted hard against the Patriots week 5. They were on bye week. They're getting DeAndre Swift back. They're going to get Jameson Williams off of the torn Achilles from the national championship game. I'm still going to take Dallas in this game any day of the week.
I think it's going to be a closer game because Detroit's offensive line is really good, and that could be an asset in this game against the very good Cowboys front. But I can't pick against Dallas in this game.
Exactly. We have this. I'm not going to say this is an interesting game, but this one could be weird. We have the Giants at Jacksonville.
Ugh.
Excuse me.
Yeah, this is an interesting game because Jacksonville's lost 2 in a row. The Giants have won 3 in a row. They're a surprise team. I am going to take the Jaguars.
I'm taking Jacksonville too. Well, I'm starting Trevor Lawrence in fantasy.
Yeah, because you don't have any other choice. I've said this the entire season. I've been anti-Giants. Giants aren't good. They're overrated. Worst 4-1 team. Worst 3-1 team. Worst 2-1 team. I've been saying that the entire year so far. I've been disrespecting the entire state of New Jersey. They shouldn't be New York. They should be the New Jersey Giants. But I've been disrespecting the Giants the entire year so far. And I think after seeing them beat Baltimore in a very interesting way, I'm going to take the Giants beating Jacksonville. After watching Trevor Lawrence fight his way against Indianapolis last week, mind you, much of that success for him to have that kind of like late stage comeback, I wouldn't attribute to him. A very late, very long 61-yard rushing touchdown by JaMychal Hasty. And other than that, I don't see Jacksonville's offense being able to move all that much. I'm going to take the Giants. Green Bay at Washington.
Green Bay's coming off a terrible.
You want to talk about a weird kind of game. Green Bay's struggling. I mean, the Commanders.
Green Bay struggled. Washington doesn't have a quarterback.
Is there going to be a banner that flies over the stadium that says sell the team, Dan? Because I mean that's where we're headed.
But Dan Snyder also has dirt on the NFL.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take Green Bay, but I mean I don't think it's going to be an easy win.
Yeah.
Although
I'll take Green Bay.
The Commanders are starting Taylor Heineke, who has done well for them.
Heineke certainly had an interesting career, especially in the 2020 playoffs where he almost beat Tom Brady. But I'm going to take Green Bay in this game as well. There's just not much to Washington that I'm hopeful about. Divisional matchup: Indianapolis at Tennessee.
That's a really big matchup.
It's playing for first place.
I'm going to take the Colts. I think I mean, it's crazy to think that just 2 weeks ago we were calling for Frank Reich to be fired. Now the Colts all of a sudden have maybe found themselves a little bit. That win over Denver might have been their saving grace or their saving win. And then they followed up with a tough division win over Jacksonville, exercised those demons. Matt Ryan had a really good game last week. Colts might be starting to find a little bit of rhythm here.
I agree. I'm also going to take Indianapolis.
Give me the Colts. Give me the Colts.
Okay. The bottom feeders of the AFC. Houston at the Raiders.
Lord have mercy.
That actually is, I mean, that game is not as much in the bag as you think.
Give me the Raiders.
Not in the bag, excuse me. That's a disrespectful comment. In the books. Raider. I'm going to take the Raiders, but I'm not so sure about that pick.
I'm going to take the Raiders as well.
Fine.
Hopefully Devontae Adams doesn't push any cameramen over this game. We have the New York Jets at the Denver Broncos.
Give me the Jets.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to take the Jets.
I'm taking the Jets. Even though they do have to travel to the West Coast.
And it's not even really the West Coast. It's just the Colorados. It's like Midwest. But yeah, I'm also going to pick the Jets. So there's no faith in Denver anymore. Denver can't win games. Just that team in general. We have a Super Bowl matchup right here. When I mean Super Bowl, not of this year's Super Bowl, but a previous Super Bowl. Still relatively young. Kansas City at the San Francisco 49ers.
This is a tough one. Both teams are coming off a loss.
Both teams are coming off a loss.
But it's in San Francisco. Do you see this as a revenge game for the Niners?
No.
Yes, I'm taking the Niners.
No.
I want to see the Chiefs fall, so I'm taking the Niners.
Of course you do.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the Chiefs. The Niners is kind of a reach.
Right when I scribbled your name in. It's a good thing you changed it.
Yeah, well, let's see.
I'm also going to take the Chiefs. They have one fluke loss against the Colts, which may not have actually been that big of a fluke now that we're seeing them now. They're not that good, but
by the way, the Bengals 15-point win. The Bengals 15-point win over the Jets, looking much better and better.
Looking a little bit better every single week. I'm going to take Kansas City. I still think they are the best. Well, now they're the second best team in the AFC. But I just see Kansas City. This game could be a shootout. This one could be a big shootout. Or it could be a complete lack of offense. We have the Seattle Seahawks at the LA Chargers.
Interesting matchup. Geno Smith is looking good. Geno Smith is looking good. But I don't know. Both teams are coming off a win.
Yeah.
Give me Seattle.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
I'm going to take the Chargers, and I'm going to take the Chargers on one thing. 2 words. It's a person. Austin Eckler. Man has been carving up defenses. How about Austin? I say his name however I want to. I'm the one that has him in fantasy football right now. I'm going to take him. Number 1 running back in fantasy right now. God bless. Absolutely amazing. Pick of the century on my part. I'm going to take the Chargers. Seattle has such a weak defense, a horrible run game. Eckler is going to tear him up, both in the pass game and the run game. He's going to, I guarantee you, Austin Eckler, 150 plus all-purpose yards with 2 touchdowns against the Seattle Seahawks. Book it now. I'm calling it. Sunday Night Football. The Pittsburgh Steelers at the Miami Dolphins.
Fins up.
I can't. I'm gonna, Alex. I know you're not gonna like me saying this, but I'm gonna take Pittsburgh.
I mean, all is fair, Frankie. I did say that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to lose to the Falcons, so it's only fair.
Well, the difference is that's not going to happen, and with the Steelers being the Dolphins will happen. So,
no, I'm not too sure about that though.
So you're picking the Dolphins?
Oh, obviously. Come on.
I'm picking the Dolphins.
At least you don't have to At least I don't have to see Mike Gesicki do an epically failed gritty dance.
I want to see him. I want him to keep doing it because you know what? People hate
No,
it.
it's
People,
terrible.
people
It's
hate
terrible.
it, and I love it. I love
Okay,
it.
Alex,
and I
Alex,
love that
Alex.
people hate it.
Alex, if Mike Gesicki Gesicki gets 2 touchdowns this week, gets 2 touchdowns, and the Dolphins win, we have to see you gritty.
I'll tell you what, man. If Mike Gesicki scores a touchdown and the Dolphins win, I will do the gritty the next episode.
On the episode.
On the episode, which means that I got to practice.
Yeah.
If the Dolphins win and Gesicki gets a touchdown, I will do the gritty. God, I hope Gesicki doesn't get a touchdown. I hope we win though.
Well, any Dolphins player. How about that?
No, we'll do Gesicki.
Or does it have to just be
It
him?
has to be Mike Gesicki out of respect for the gritty goat right there. So, you know, I'm not really too excited about this Monday night matchup now. He's the Chicago Bears, the New England Patriots.
Ugh, terrible.
It's not terrible.
I actually am
I've
intrigued
seen
by this.
better. I've seen better. It's just.
No, I think there's something to this game.
What do you mean? There's something to this game?
Let's see if how Bill Belichick handles Justin Fields. Spoiler alert, I think the Bears offense is going to struggle mightily in this game. I'm going to take New England.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm taking New England.
New England.
Bailey Zappi, whatever his last name is.
You know what, man? I know we were joking about it earlier when Zappi won and
Whoop-de-doo.
who did they beat? The Lions. Right?
It's the Lions. What do you expect?
Okay, but you also have to kind of roll with me on this. Okay, beat the Lions, beat the Browns.
Mercy.
You make it come back and look like you were about to win Green Bay, but you also have to realize that it came in late. Not really late. Brian Hoyer got injured. I know we were joking about this, saying that this is pretty similar to how Tom Brady became Tom Brady, but you also kind of have to look about what he did to the Cleveland Browns' defense. He put up 300 plus yards and 2 touchdowns on the Browns. I'm not saying it's the next coming of Tom Brady, but I'm just saying it's a little coincidental. But yeah, I'm taking New England in this matchup. There's no faith in the Bears anymore.
Bears are just point blank terrible.
You also have to you can't blame the team itself. You got to blame the
Yeah,
the
but
front office. You got to blame the front office.
Yeah.
You can't blame Fields. I know
There's no way you lose to the Commanders in that game.
No, I mean you gotta look at what's up. You gotta look at what's available on offense. David Montgomery has been completely just flatlined since he got injured. And you have Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney, and that's about it on offense.
No,
So
but
you can't call him a bust yet. You gotta at least give him a
Yeah.
somewhat decent team. But with all that being said, that's gonna be it for this week. What's it called? Madden video probably be posted by the end of this week. We'll see. We'll be back next week with our predictions overview. We'll have college football back next week. Some of my eye. And with all that being said, thank you so much, and we will see y'all soon.